Can you put the chat up on the screen? Yeah. Okay. This Right, let's get started. This is the picture that I've put up, so hopefully you've had a chance to download it if you want to sketch along with me. And before I start, I just want to spend a minute looking at the picture and sort of working out what I'm doing. It's something I don't do that often when I'm sketching. I just get straight into the actual sketching part, but it's good to actually think about how you want to do the sketch before you start. So there are a few things I really like about this, and there's a few things that I want to just ignore. There's this whole area here which I didn't notice when I took the photo. This is like kind of creepy, this shop. This like mannequin here, like, whoa. And all the hockey masks and all that. I think that's quite an interesting area, but if I add it to the sketch, it's going to put a lot of focus on that area when that's not what I really want to do. But I do like having the buildings here showing the alleyway going to this building at the end. And I was also thinking this is the train line running on top of the shops, but that's also going to get a bit confusing. So yeah, putting the main focus on these shops here, the lanterns, the shop windows, and this guy here, I'm not sure if I'll include him or not. I might see how I feel it once I've got the rest of it all got the rest of it done. Done's the word. And so yeah, and this is the colours are very limited in this, which is kind of good because it means, well, it's, I can use a limited palette. So to start off with, I've got the Japanese colour, which is Mushikuri Iro. I haven't. Oh, enamel. Okay, it's got English on the back. Then, yeah, the really red, pure red. And I also wanted. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I've got a sneeze brewing. The Japanese blue-black. So I'll put all these away. I'm really sorry that the picture's sideways. I'm not sure how to fix that. Didn't do that last time, did it? I might just have a look at the camera. I don't want to play around with it too much while I'm actually on camera. And I don't really want to put my air conditioner back on screen, so we'll just go with that. I'll put this away. Yeah, as I said, if you want to sketch along, I've got a copy of this, a link to where you can download this picture on my community tab, or you can just actually go and download the picture straight from the community tab, I guess. But yeah, so you can sketch along with this, but if you've got just something you're working on yourself and want to sketch along with some completely different picture, that's also cool. But I'll put this out of the way. iPad, yes. And now my iPad stand has decided not to work. Yes, it has. Okay, so I'm using a Muji sketchbook. It's the F4, which is slightly bigger than A4. And it's just plain drawing paper, cartridge paper, I call it. I think it's called Bristol paper in the US. And I'll get started with the sketch. I'm using, this is the Pitt oil-based pen. I really hate, what do you call it? Like graphite pencils. I really hate them, which people think strange, but no, there's something about the smell. It makes me think of school, and school, not good. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of frame it with those two buildings at the side, making that one go up a lot further than what it actually is in the picture. Maybe even a bit more. And getting these basic shapes in. I love that sign. One of the things I really want to work on at the moment is lettering, using lettering in pictures, in sketches, and yeah, how that sort of adds that extra element to any sketch you're doing. This photo I took when I was in Tokyo, in Uno, which is, I guess, a more working class area of Tokyo. It's an area I really like. There's this whole area under the train lines near the station that's all like little shops, izakaya type shops. Really good, cheap food. You can just sit on the street. It's a bit like, you go to these little places, they just have sort of shonky tables, fold up tables, and milk crates for you to sit on half the time, not even a real seat. But yeah, it's a really fun area of Tokyo. I feel like sort of once you get into the working class areas of Tokyo, people are a lot less uptight, more relaxed, just want to have fun. They don't sort of have the same pressure as, like, your middle class areas. It's kind of like people have that whole work culture that Tokyo is so famous for, the can't get the lid off this, their whole work, the longer hours you work, the better, that kind of thing. But in the working class areas, people just, are just relaxed and often quite funny, want to joke around with you. Well, I hope they're joking. Anyway, yeah, so today I thought I'd use some masking tape just to mask off a few areas. It's not something I normally do, but I did if you know the Good Ship Illo, they do their weekly art club, and this last week they were talking about using resistance. I often resist things, but not in a good way. Yeah, using resistance in your artwork to sort of mask off areas. And I should have cut that, but I don't have any scissors. So I thought it'd be good to play around with that and just mask off where that sign is. That's the main thing I wanted to mask off there. And I'll get started with the adding some colour. Start with the paint. One thing I quite like about using acrylic wash is that you can go light over dark, which you can't with watercolour. Actually, I haven't done much watercolour in a long time. I used to always just work in watercolour, and now I'm kind of over it. But I might go back to it again. And yeah, just trying to get this gouache the right consistency to go on nicely. I quite like working from dark colour, layering the lighter colour over. I find it something really satisfying about it. So I'll just block in these dark areas here. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have masked off where those lanterns are in the picture so that I got the really bright pop of red. But too late now. So yeah, how I wanted to talk about my goals for what year is it? 2023. Yikes. I still keep thinking it's the 90s. I've got one big goal for this year. I really want to go to New York. That's my big dream. Somewhere I've always wanted to go, but I've kind of had this thing that it's not really possible. It's not I've just realised I've messed this up. Ah, good one. I'll just ad-lib it. Yeah, kind of like it's so expensive, it's so hard to get there and everything. But I was thinking about it just before the Christmas break, and it's like, well, it's not really that much more expensive or harder to do than anywhere else. Like, you know, I went to London last year. It's no more expensive to get to America than to London from here. There's just, I don't know why it seems so much harder, but I'm going to make it happen this year. It's going to happen. I just need to work out the money side of things. That's the main part. That's always the main part, isn't it, when you're traveling? But yeah, once I've got that figured out, the rest is easy. So that means, yeah, we've been watching a lot of New York travel YouTubes at the moment. And it's quite strange. I feel like these New York YouTubers, they keep talking about, you know, what's unique about New York and everything. And it's kind of like, yeah, we have that here. We have that here. But there's still a lot that is not here. I really love the kind of brownstone buildings and the, you know, those buildings, I don't know what they're called, but they've got the fire stairs on the outside. And yeah, just that really amazing architectural elements. I want to do the outside buildings quite dark so that they're differentiated from the ones at the back. I feel like I really need to get a much bigger brush for doing gouache, and I probably need a bit more blue. Like a really big chunky gouache brush. I've got to cut. Oh, that's really separated in the tube. It's been insanely hot here in Australia the last couple of weeks, and I don't think it's good for art materials. It's definitely not good for me. I've been really not coping with the heat, and luckily today it's a lot cooler than it has been. It's what, 21 today, I think, which is manageable. Yesterday was 38, 39. It was hell. And yeah, our apartment seems to just suck in the heat and not cool down. We'll have fans running, air conditioning. Well, we don't have the air conditioning running. We need to get it cleaned. We rang up an air conditioning guy just before Christmas about getting the air conditioner cleaned. He wanted $140 to come out and give us a quote, just a quote, not do anything. And then we asked if that would come off the cost of the cleaning. He's like, no, that's, you pay that and the cleaning's more. And then tried to tell us that we probably needed a new air conditioner. And it's like, yeah, no, not going to happen. So we have to get that done. We're thinking of doing it ourselves, but the problem is that it's been too hot, so we haven't really been motivated to do a big clean. Plus, the air conditioner is just straight up there above our art table, and that means we've got to clear all the art materials and everything off the art table so that we can get up there to clean it, because obviously we don't want to be cleaning out the filter on the air conditioner and getting all the dust and everything all over everything on the art table. So it will happen. I think we'll just get to the point where we just can't handle it anymore and we'll get up there and clean it. Actually, today would be a really good day to do it, but not right now while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's going to be 39 on Tuesday. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And yeah, so we should get it done before then. Would be a really good idea. Not being very particular about how I'm putting the paint on here. Just getting the colour down. Ooh. So yeah, if anyone's got big goals for this year, put them in the chat, because I'm really bad at coming up with goals for myself. So I really like to steal other people's ideas. And so yeah, the more other people tell me, the better. Put a bit of this red into here so that it's got yeah, so other goals apart from travel. Well, my other travel goal is I want to go and see a bit of the regional area around where I live. I live in the middle of the city in Melbourne, and never really travel much around my own area. So maybe a couple of overnight trips or day trips, even a few day trips, like a couple of days, to some of the regional areas. I'm not really sure where yet. Dalesford, which is just a couple hours out of Melbourne, is a pretty amazing town. They have hot springs there, and other stuff. I can't even remember what now, but they have some pretty cool stuff. It's one of those sort of upmarket country towns. Lots of well, there's some good wineries, and there's, I guess the main thing is the hot springs. That there's wineries. There's some good cafes. Good. They have a farmers market on the Saturday. Lots of antique shops. Yeah, so I might just leave this to dry a bit. I play around with things too much, especially at this stage. I just sort of start messing, and I've got the live stream running on the TV in the lounge room with the sound turned down, like just over there. And it's really hard to stop myself from looking and seeing what I'm doing. But I have to paint. I'm here to paint, not to watch myself. I have a really big issue in our family. I don't know if other people do this, but when you're doing, especially like during lockdown, when you're doing a lot of family Zoom calls and that kind of thing, my whole family just end up sitting there watching ourselves and kind of getting a bit zoned out. It's really weird. Like, you could just sit and watch yourself in the mirror, I guess. You don't really need to be on a Zoom call, but yeah, always happens. And I'm just trying to work out what else is this yellow colour in the picture. I'm going to have fun soon, because I'm going to have to write all this Japanese that's on the signs. Sometimes I try and write real Japanese, and sometimes I just write fake Japanese. I actually studied Japanese for many years, many years, and even studied in Japan. I lived in Japan for a year, studied Japanese there. And how good do you think my Japanese is? Terrible. Terrible. I am like the worst. Someone comes up to me like in real life and asks me like, how are you going, or something, like a really basic question. I'm like, I don't know, leave me alone. I don't run away. But like English as well. Okay. Aunt just said I'm like that in English too. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a thing. I mean, you can learn to speak another language, but if you're a bit introverted, or you know, not good with people. People, bad. People, I'm not a people skills person. And so, yeah, it kind of is a bit of a setback when you're trying to learn a new language to actually like talking to people. Oh, it's not that I don't like talking to people, and sometimes I can be quite chatty, but I guess just making small talk with random strangers, that's the thing I'm not good at. And yeah, people. I mean, if I need to have a conversation with someone, I can do it. And sometimes I can do it. Last time I was in Japan, when was it, November, I actually didn't really speak Japanese a lot. I think because there were so many tourists in Japan at the time, no one even, attempted to speak Japanese to me. So that was kind of a bit strange, really. I feel like maybe in Tokyo especially, a lot of people were learning English to gear up for the Olympics. They thought there was going to be these massive crowds of people coming to Tokyo, which of course didn't quite work out as planned, but I did get a lot of people, especially in the tourist industry, really leveling up their, I was going to say Japanese, leveling up their English. I mean, it's funny, because I was learning Japanese, whenever I'd go to Japan, I'd want to speak Japanese to people, and everyone would just want to speak English. And, but then, I'd speak to people I knew that didn't speak Japanese, and I'd be like, oh, I went to Japan. It was really hard because no one spoke English. I'm like, where do you find these people? The best thing I found for practicing Japanese, talk to old people on the train. We don't even have to start a conversation. They just come up and start speaking to you. And I used to study Japanese. When I was studying Japanese, I used to study on the train, like when I was on my way to Japanese school, usually because I had a test and I hadn't studied for it. So I'd be like really furiously trying to remember all the stuff while I was sitting on the train on the way there. And a lot of old people, when they see you studying Japanese, they'll come up and start chatting to you. Wow, that blue's already dried out. It's not even hot today. Yeah, that's been one of the problems with the hot weather. Your paint dries out so fast. I might just do a really light. That's not light. Can't get the colour I want. I want to get a light, really light grey for the top of those buildings. And ooh, the squirted little eyedropper, squirted border all across the table. That's still a bit red. Always do this thing where I run out of slots in my little palette while I'm painting. So yeah, anyway, about the goals. I really don't have any art goals for this year. I kind of just want to keep on doing what I've been doing. One thing I'm really feeling strongly about at the moment is workshops and things like that. In the past, like especially during lockdown and that, if I want to do a workshop or a class, I sort of put everything under workshops, like, actual workshops, classes, domestica courses, even Patreons. Yeah, during lockdown, if something looked interesting, I'd do it. Just sign up. Oh, I can clean my brush real good then. Sign up for it and that'd be fine. I mean, I wasn't spending money on anything else. There was nothing else to do when you're at home. You know, I don't know if people realise this, but here in Melbourne, we were the most lockdown city in the world. That's our claim to fame. Yeah, so at the moment, this year, I've been thinking about it and I really want to start being selective about the courses I do and where I spend my money. I found that really hard in the art community because it's hard to get information on what is good value when it comes to learning, I think. People obviously, I mean, you know, artists like to support other artists and no one's going to say, yeah, don't do this person's course. It's really not good or not good value. But at the same time, you know, it's my money and I want to make sure that I'm getting some value for it. So, yeah, that's where the sort of difficulty comes in. I feel like I could have left a bit more white in this picture. Difficulty comes in because once you've paid for a course and you get halfway through it and you realise, hey, this is really not doing it for me. Then it's too late, you spent your money. I signed up for a course that was not cheap last year. I won't name the course, but it was a lot of money, like hundreds of dollars. And once I started doing it, I realised that it just wasn't for me. It wasn't providing any value at all. A lot of the course, it was just, you know, watching videos online. There was no interactive element at all, no feedback, no communication with the course people. It was basically like I may as well have been watching YouTube videos. And yeah, I got a bit disappointed in that. I felt like, yeah, I could have spent my money a lot better on something that I had saying pizza. I could have spent my money on pizza. But maybe not pizza, but definitely on, like, for the cost of that, I could have done a whole heap of Domestika courses and got as much. I mean, if you're doing a Domestika course, I don't know if you're familiar with Domestika, but their courses are quite good. And yeah, you expect that you just got videos, you watch the videos, you have a few exercises to do, and that's the whole thing. Like, you know, you're not getting individual feedback. It's just a recording. But you're paying what? Probably $20 is the most you'd pay for a Domestika course. Whereas, yeah, when you're paying hundreds of dollars and you're basically getting the same thing, it feels like you've been ripped off a bit. So that's why, one of the reasons why I'm being a lot more careful about how I spend my money. But yeah, it's also good to keep learning. I think that's, just wait for that to dry. Hopefully it'll dry really fast because even though it's cooler today, it's still very stuffy. I really, really hate the heat, in case you hadn't noticed by what I was saying. I wasn't going to do this bit at the top, but then I ended up doing it. Just want to get some lines in. So yeah, if anyone's got any travel plans for next year, any art plans, any big art plans, Just trying to think about what would be good to do. I kind of want to not stop doing so much art, but for my day job, I guess you call it, I'm a writer and I'm an author. And one of the things I find really bad about art is that I will like just spend my time doing art rather than writing, because with art you get doing sketching, you get the immediate payoff. Like you sit down, start a sketch, and within like an hour or so you've got a finished product. Whereas writing a novel, you spend forever and ever, and then you get the novel finished, and then you realize you have to go back and edit it. And yeah, I'm not complaining. Well, I am complaining, but I feel like, compared to say working in a call center or something, it's a pretty good job. But sort of in terms of time management, I guess that needs to become a priority more than doing art. Well, that's where I make my money. It's kind of really weird time, I think, for writers and for artists. So much going on. All the like AI that's starting to be developed. You kind of wonder, well, are people going to need writers? Are people going to need artists in the future? I think so. And they need something to rip off and said, yeah, like someone to generate the original matter that they're using to create the AI. Also, I don't know, an AI written book. I know one writer friend of mine who's been experimenting with it, but it's just basically she'll use the AI version as sort of a template and then add her own voice to it. She said like the AI stuff is pretty basic, pretty like not a usable book, but at the same time she said sometimes like the AI can generate these plot ideas that you would never have thought of yourself, and I guess it's just a tool like any other tool that you use for writing. Maybe no different to doing those those sites where you go on and generate name for a paranormal school, or generate a name for a rock group. I feel like this edge here could be a lot sharper, but I might worry about that later. And yeah, I don't really make New Year's resolutions. I mean, I think it's one thing having goals for your business or personal life, but the whole I'm going to quit. I don't know. I can't even think of anything you'd want to quit, but that kind of thing. It's everyone starts it in January, don't they? And then by I don't know, the middle of January, it's all over. When I used to go to the gym, I used to hate January because you place it gets so crowded. You'd have hundreds and hundreds of people in there, and then by the middle of January, it was all dead. Didn't have to worry about other people. But I don't go to the gym anymore, so I don't have to worry about it at all. Oh, I've got so lazy over lockdowns. It's hard. Like, during lockdowns here, we could leave the house for an hour a day for exercise, like to go running or walking or something. But I never did. I probably should have. And yeah, now when I travel, it's kind of like I'm going from 0 to 100 and end up getting all kinds of injuries doing that. I'm just fooling around with this now. Just messing around. Oh, I want to get that to dry. So it might be a good time to, yeah, just do some of the line work. Fill in some of the line work. And get these lines here a bit sharper. I'm shit at, I'm really bad at doing straight lines. That's not my thing. I do find using the edge of the page, like resting my hand on the edge of the page and using that as a guide helps sometimes. And yeah, kind of have to work out what to do with this building here at the side. Maybe just give the impression that there's stuff going on there without getting into the detail. Doing some bit of work on this side here, just so that it looks like more than just a big blue column at the side. Maybe a bit of that lettering on that side. I can't believe I took a photo of this really creepy shop and never ever noticed the horse head masks. You see them a lot in sort of novelty shops and that around Japan, and they are so creepy. I'm kind of a bit freaked out by people in masks anyway. I don't know, it's one of those things like clowns and little blonde children that are just really not. If you can hear a weird noise in the background, that's Luna, our dog Luna. She's got a lot to say for herself. She's always got a lot to say for herself. She's a very talkative dog. Yeah, she I don't know, just lately, it's kind of like she just wants to sit there and see how many different noises she can make. Like, oh, wonder what sort of weird noise I can make today. And she'll just sit on the couch when no one's around and make these weird noises. I'll be in my bedroom, sort of laughing at her without her realizing it. Sorry, Luna. She's an exceptionally cute dog, but sometimes she can be a little bit annoying, to be honest. She's weird, and yeah, I think the worst thing is she goes into these sort of phases where she wants to go outside. She wants to go outside. She scratches on the door like, "Let me out! I need to go out," and then you let her out, and she just wanders outside, wanders back in, doesn't actually need to go outside. Then you sit down and try to do something. She decides, yeah, no, I do need to go outside. This will go on for days, literal days. And she always does it when you're right in the middle of, wanting to do something that you need to concentrate on. Like I'll sit down to start writing and she's like, no, I want to go outside. No, I don't want to go outside. Yes, I do want to go outside. And it's so hard to not get angry with her. Then she does this cute look where she sort of puts her head on her paws and looks up at you, and it's like, oh, I can't get angry at you. You're just too cute. But I guess When you have dogs, that's what happens. And just fiddling again. I feel like some of these darks weren't dark enough. Especially here, I really want the bit behind the lanterns to be dark so that I can get that really poppy red from those lanterns. It's a lot more complicated picture than it looks. I feel like maybe I'm getting a little bit too overcomplicated with things. It's always a hard call when you're painting. Well, it is for me. I always struggle with trying to keep things simple when they could be, well, basically how to simplify things, how to condense what you're seeing. Sometimes I'm quite good with it, and other times I just overdo it completely. I need a break from painting now. I'm going to take this tape off. I love doing this bit. Probably should have put the tape down before I did the pencil lines, but so break time. While the paint's drying, I feel like I should be doing something interesting. I really need to zoom that in a bit, I think. Sorry for the chair noise. Not that much. There. Wow, you got a nice shot of my black and white stripy shorts that match my nails. I cut my nails today. I don't know if you've ever had like gel nails or anything like that, but your nails seem to grow exceptionally fast once you've got the gel on, and you can't cut them. Well, once you cut them, I've cut them now and they're fine, but within a day or so all that will come off. And they just got unbearably long, and I couldn't find my nail clippers. And then I realised, I haven't actually used them since I got back from Japan, because obviously I don't need to cut my nails. And searched and searched, and I have no idea. I might have left them in my hotel room even. So I ordered new nail clippers on Amazon, and they arrived this morning. But they're really tiny. Like, I was expecting them to be bigger. And with the gel on the nails, it makes your nails really thick. So I could barely get my nails into the clippers. I did get it done. I think I would have gone nuts if I hadn't ended up getting things done, getting them cut. But I'm just sort of trying to fix up there where the paper's lifted. Yeah, so finally after... It's been about a week where they've been like just annoyingly long. I'm just going to do a test on that black. What are you laughing about?
You did the test on the black.
Yeah. Yeah, just want to make sure that red really pops against the black, and I think I'm going to have to do it in paint because the pencil isn't popping enough. But I'm going to go in and do the sign. I feel like with the Japanese sign, it would be really best to do it in like a brush pen or something to get the strokes right. But that also seems like it'd be incredibly complicated. So it's not going to happen. Yeah. Sometimes I sing things while I'm sketching. Does anyone else do that?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That's okay if you're at home on your own and no one can hear you. Just so Q&A. I was asked a question about what I do about art block, which is really funny because I never really have art block. Well, maybe I do, but it's just if I don't feel like arting, I don't do it. So I think, yeah, it's important if you're not doing art it's not your job, you're not getting paid to do it, then I think it's best to not pressure yourself, not to feel like, oh, if I don't do this every day, I'm gonna just lose it completely, like lose all the skills I've developed or lose the motivation. I miss one day and it's gonna be suddenly 50 years down the track and I haven't taken it up again. But I think that if you really enjoy doing art, that's not going to happen. And having some time off can really, yeah. I mean, spend enough time doing things in life that are forced, that you have to get up, go to work, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I don't think art should be like that. I think it's more of a well, it's a hobby. So yeah, no need to get too serious about it. One of the things I do find really motivates me, that does not look like. One of the things that really motivates me, I have to say, is new art materials. Whenever I get new art materials to test out, I am super motivated. And I think another good thing to do too is to mix it up. Like, if you're doing one type of art all the time, it can be good to just mix it up. If you're doing landscapes every day, maybe do some life drawing or some portraits or still life. If you're doing painting, like watercolor every day or all the time, doing a lot of watercolor, try something else. If you like taking your time, painting slowly, maybe do some speed painting. Not speed painting where you film it and speed the camera up, but actually just time, like 5-minute, 10-minute sketches. Actually used to do a lot of life drawing and then I stopped because just wasn't feeling it. And then the other day I went back and the class I used to do, they were doing a circus theme, and so I thought that'd be really fun, and it was like one of the best life drawing sessions I've done. And so just I think having been away from it for a while too just really helped, because I guess it's like, you get that excitement back, you get that enthusiasm. Whereas if you're doing something every week, we were doing it every week and it was starting to get like a bit, I don't know, you're just doing the same, had very similar looking models every week too, which I found kind of can get a bit uninspiring. And just getting that. But yeah, the circus theme was just wow. Just trying to think of other ways to mix things up. Well, going out and sketching on location is definitely a great way to mix things up. Obviously, one of my favourite ways. And just finding new places to go. I go to the market nearly every week. I sketch a lot at the market, and that's good. It's sort of good to have that familiarity sometimes. Familiarity with your location, because you're not like you getting somewhere and then being like, ooh, what do I have really screwed up this middle section of this picture. Yeah, like if you're somewhere new, you've got to work out where to sit, where the good places are, you know, everything that happens with something somewhere new. But if you're going somewhere every week, it's like, yeah, going over to this bit here, going over to the fish section, or going over to the... I never go to the fish section, to be honest. I'm lying about that because it stings. At our market, the fish and meat are in a separate section, and I don't even like walking through it. But yeah, like there's a little seat that's sort of hidden away in the corner, and it's really great if you want to sketch the vegetable section. Not many people even realise it's there. So you're not getting some old lady beating you up to get the seat. We have some very violent old ladies at our local market. Yeah, very violent. They use... I think I talked about this last time, didn't I? About how the old ladies get their shopping carts and ram them into your legs. But yeah, I guess back to the art block. The other thing is like domestica courses, and that are good. They're like if you get them on sale, like maybe about $10, and so you're not really investing a huge amount of money. It's affordable, but at the same time, you can learn new skills, or just get new ideas, pick up a few things. I mean, for a $20 course, if you're learning one or two new things, just a few little ideas, a couple of ideas to add to your artwork, then it's definitely value for money, isn't it? I'm just looking at this thinking, how did I get what I've got here from what is in this photo? You know, one of my all-time favourite things to draw are power lines. I just love drawing power lines. But they're one of those things, you either get it right, first pop, or you do just mess them up. And I think with that one, I just messed it up. Now I've sort of run out of things to say. So if anyone's got questions, Bob, we don't have the chat coming up.
Yeah, nobody's chatting.
Oh, no one's chatting. If you're in the chat, just pop a hi or a question. A question would be really good, because, yeah, just let me know where you're from. That'd be really good. Where you live. What kind of art you're interested in. But yeah, like what country you're from. And last but so who's your favourite Spice Girl? That's aging myself, isn't it? Who? And has just put in that she's from Australia. I kind of knew that. She lives in my house.
You're in my house.
Oh, I'm in her house. Okay.
Mika.
Hey, Mika. Mika's from Japan. I'm going to attempt those lanterns now. I have this really bad habit of when I'm painting, I just use the same brush for everything because I never stop to think to pick up another brush. Like it's just pure laziness. Well, not laziness, thoughtlessness. But I really want to get the round shape of those lanterns. I don't know why I've got that black bit in there.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, just. I'm going to put in 2 rows of lanterns. That's what I'm going to do since I've got that black bit there that shouldn't be there. This brush is a bit big.
I hope it sounds no different.
It is. So this brush is way too big. Okay. Got this brush. It's a rosemary dagger brush, and I hate it. But it might be good for this. I bought it like people were all like, "Ooh, dagger brushes, they're just so amazing. They're the best brushes to paint with." They're not. They are not. They have a really, really steep learning curve. I don't like that either. Go back to this one. Really steep learning curve because of the dagger shape. And I'm sure they're probably a really nice brush to use if you quitting. Yeah, nice brush to use if you sort of work out how to use it, but it's not this one. This is the perfect brush for doing these little lines. Which I think could be Ant's brush, not mine. So yours, it's a Princeton Select Round.
No, George, you put it in Japan. Somebody else chatting with me.
Marlis, you're from Vienna. Vienna's such a beautiful city. I went there years ago, and I'd love to go back sometime. Oh, thanks, Mika. My kanji stroke order is not right. Yeah, that's because I'm painting it, not writing it. Maybe. Yeah, if people don't know, when you're writing Japanese characters, kanji like these, the stroke order, you write them in, like, so this stroke, whatever. It's really important, but I have no idea why it's important.
Because it looks weird otherwise.
It looks weird otherwise. But does it? Or is that just something people say? Be interesting to do a test write and see if people actually notice when your stroke order is wrong when they don't see you write it. I mean, I guess it is important if you're doing calligraphy and trying to have that really fancy calligraphy style. But yeah, I'm never gonna be any good at calligraphy because I can't even write regular Japanese. I do have calligraphy brushes though, so my lanterns are terrible. No, they are. I want to put a bit of I think I'm trying to do something way beyond my skill level, which is to add a little pop of yellow and mix it in, because it's just going to end up making the lantern disappear into the background. Okay, Catherine, stop that. Stop fiddling. Have you ever noticed how when people are painting, I notice this when I watch other people on YouTube, and they'll say, okay, that's done, time to stop fiddling, and they always keep fiddling every single time. I have never ever seen anyone say to themselves, stop fiddling, and then they actually stop. Okay, just trying to get these a bit rounder and a bit poppier. What I really should have done, I think, with these was paint them in white, then after the white dried, go over them in red, and that would have made them stand out a lot more and given them that glowing look. But that I would have had to have waited around for hours for paint to dry. Sometimes it's better to do what's expedient than what's best. Just putting some shadow into here. Okay. I really like this brush. This might be my go-to gloss brush from now on. That blue black is completely dried up. Everything's drying up so fast in this weather. So glad. Like, if it had been 35 today, I don't think I would have even been able to get the gloss from the palette to the page. Would have dried up before I got it out of the tube. Yeah, that's too dried up. I put all my paints away and I've got to get it out again. Is that the blue black? Yeah, I'm just reading about it. Hey, this is Turn of Europe. That's weird. I bought it in Japan. It's Japanese paint I bought in Japan, but it's from Europe. Oh. Oh, dear me. Just trying to get these lines straight-ish. It's kind of letting the brush do its own thing, because if I try and control it, it's just gonna go everywhere. Oh, I might need to get some white paint to do those window sills. Just gonna do some fake lettering here. So yeah, the other thing, going back to my goals for the year, definitely working on YouTube. Really like YouTube. It's a really great platform. I used to post a lot on Instagram for the last couple of years, and I have to say, I hate Instagram. I hate Instagram so much. I hate the algorithm. It's like, oh yeah, if you post at 3 a.m., 3:15 a.m. on a Tuesday on a full moon, your posts will get seen, but 2 minutes later, they're going to disappear forever. Right? I kind of feel like sometimes these people who program algorithms, they just sit around trying to think of really annoying things or, ways of messing with you. They're like mean girls from high school, right? Like, oh, you're our best friend, you're our best friend. And then the next day it's like, no, we hate you, you can't sit with us. And so, yeah, really don't need that in my life. And so, yeah, I'm sort of wanting to concentrate more on YouTube than the mean girls over at Instagram. It's Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah. He's a man.
He what?
He's a man.
He's a lizard man. No, I think he's actually Regina George. He's not even Regina George.
She was hot.
Yeah, he's kind of like just a Regina George wannabe. Yeah, let's make people suffer. But, not cool like Regina George. I hate Facebook too, so I think it is his fault. Everything in the world is his fault. Like, I don't even see things on my Facebook feed now that aren't ads. Like, it's just like going into a big random ads feed. And, what? Oh, because I've blocked everyone. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's a little bit because I've blocked everyone. But, I don't know, I get all these, like, mama blogs. Is that what they're called? Mama blogs? Mummy blogs? Oh, my neighbor told my child to be quiet, so I told her to be quiet. Am I in the wrong? It's like, yeah, you are. Well, I can't even think of it, but it's all that kind of stuff. That's my entire Facebook feed, which is really weird because I was going to say I don't have a child. I have a child, but I don't have a young child. I have a man child. Yeah, he's a really good boy. He gave me some really cool art materials for my Christmas present. Moleskine sketchbook. And he gave me, this is how awesome my son is, my all-time favourite dark indigo Caran d'Ache pencils. 5 pencils that'll last me like a month. It's funny because we made Christmas wish lists and I'd had the pencils on my wish list and he actually rang Anita, messaged Anita and said, does Mum actually want 100 of these pencils? I'd put 100 on my wish list. And she's like, yeah, she does. But he ended up getting me 5. 5 is also good. I just put my brush down somewhere and I've lost it. Oh, dear me. Ah, there it is. Oh, I'm so blind. I really need to go and have an eye test. But I really hate my local optometrists. They're really... Last time I went there, I sort of had my hand resting on the machine, one of the machines, like she was testing my eyes. And she turned it with my hand in it and like got my hand caught in the machine. And I was wearing my favourite ring and that sort of broke. It broke my ring and she's like, oh, sorry, like that. And it's kind of like, yeah, maybe you could be a bit more sincere about that apology. But yeah, even weirder, right? I found this really weird. Anyway, I rang up to make my appointment in the first place. I'd never been to that optometrist before. And they said to me, are you okay seeing the lady doctor? The lady doctor. And I'm like, can I have my appointment for this decade, maybe? Not the 1950s? And yeah, that was all really weird. I need to do this road. That's what I need to do. Remember 10, 15 minutes ago where I said I'm going to stop painting and concentrate on other stuff? Didn't happen, did it? I should start doing some. I think I'm doing the wrong stroke order here. But it doesn't matter when it's on the road. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't use stroke order. They just have a stencil that they spray paint, right, when they're doing stuff on the road. I've really seen them do it. They could probably do with another coat on that one there. Starting to get a bit faded. But then I'm not really sure how much attention people pay to things on the street in Uno. Like, what do you call it, like road rules. It's funny. Most of Japanese are very, like, good at following rules, love following rules. But when you get to places like Uno that are a bit more working class, yeah, it doesn't happen so much. I noticed last time I was in Japan, because it's been a few years, obviously, since I've been there, and it used to be that you could smoke. Well, the first time I went to Japan, you could smoke pretty much anywhere. Not walking down the street, but, you know, on the train station platforms, in cafes, all cafes and bars and that. And last time I went, like, it sort of gradually got more and more restricted, and a lot of cafes, pretty much all cafes and restaurants and that are now non-smoking, except when you go to Uno, and then all the places to eat have signs up, smoking okay, smoking welcome. Pretty much don't come here if you don't smoke. And it's the complete opposite to everywhere else in Tokyo now. But it's quite funny. They've got these little smoking booths in all of the cafes where you go into this tiny little room and stand around smoking. And I guess it's good if you're a non-smoker. It used to be, you go to a cafe and they'd have a smoking and non-smoking section, but they'd just be next to each other. And so if you're sitting in the non-smoking, you've got all this smoke blowing over from all the smokers sitting at one table across from you. And I think I'm nearly finished this. Thanks. Aunt just said it looks good. She has to say that, she's my sister. Mm-hmm. Oh, she doesn't have to say it. She said she doesn't have to say it. She doesn't have to, but she said it anyway. So yeah, how are you going? Is anyone actually drawing along with me, apart from Aunt? Well, Aunt is, not dismissing her, but I wanted to see. Oh, I have to do the sign. Oh, iPad's doing something weird. Oh. Wow, I really like this. What's the colour called? Mustard. Mustard over the blue paint. Really gives a nice effect. So what was it, a real shop sign? Pencil sharpener.
Mommy stitched as well.
Oh, thanks.
You can see a tag.
Yeah, I've got a hashtag that I've been using, which is WonderCat livestream, I think. But I'm completely unsure about that. So I'll post it when this goes up, the, what do you call it, like replay? Not replay, but the live, not live, the recording goes up. Thanks. Sometimes I forget words. I'm lucky I've got Anne here to remember them for me. When the recording goes up, I'll put the hashtag for this for Insta. So if you want to post on Insta and tag me, and then I can put it in my stories and all that kind of thing. Okay, I don't have much room for that, but I'm not even going to attempt to do those kanjis. Like, yeah, I'll do that one. T, cha, 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 cha. But the others, I don't even know what they are. One day, I was going to say one day I'll learn Japanese, but, you know, I think the boat sailed. At least if we go to New York this year, we won't have to learn that much of a different language. I was going to say we won't have to learn a different language, but I really want to learn to talk with a Brooklyn accent. Like, that is my goal for New York. I kind of feel like you can say anything to anyone if you say it in a Brooklyn accent. Like, you know, it's fine. People just think it's cool if you're talking in a Brooklyn accent. I don't know, maybe if you're from Brooklyn, you have a different different thoughts on that, but I don't know if I've met anyone from Brooklyn. I mean, I guess you don't meet many Americans in Australia because it's not really somewhere Americans come to. You know, it's not a popular tourist destination. Well, Melbourne. I mean, Melbourne's not really a touristy place. People always want to go to Sydney and Gold Coast, and I don't know where else tourists go to. But it's funny because Melbourne is actually the best part of Australia. Yeah, I don't even know where tourists go. I think Sydney is definitely. And I really want to go to Perth. That's where I want to go to if I travel anywhere in Australia, because that's where the quokkas are. Quokkas are so cute. They are just so cute. Were they quokkas? Aunt sent me a video of these animals carrying.
I think they were beavers.
Oh, they were beavers, but they were carrying these carrots, and I had them in their hands carrying these carrots. Oh, it was so cute. Oh. Yeah, I'm just thinking I am getting way too. Way. Oh, thanks for joining, Marley. 5 o'clock in the morning. Wow, you must need some sleep. I know sometimes it's good. Like, I have really erratic sleep patterns, so sometimes it's really good that you can, there's always something going on somewhere in the world that you can join in, like art stuff. If you're Australian, sometimes it's a lot easier to join in things at weird hours than during the day. Yeah, I was going to put that split second decision here. I'm going to put the man in. I'll just put a bit of this. Oh, I have issues with washing my brush. Let's put a bit in there that's blending into the background for his face. Then I can draw the rest of him in black. I'm not going to put those other people in that are in the background. That mannequin on the side. So creepy. Oh my god. So everything's dry. Oh. I really need to put my Oh no, I've got a bit of blue there. Just want to do that street sign. Actually, what is this? Oh man keeps disappearing. It's like, where's he gone? Because I just put the face in. Oh no, now I'm, yeah, got all the paint mixed in. Like all my blues going into my face colour. It's kind of like a watercolour. But I can redraw his face in pencil, that's okay. But apart from that, yeah, I'm glad I put him in. I get really, like, I don't want to put people in. I'm going to make them look stupid. I hate putting people in pictures. But really, it does make things look more real. I mean, you know, you don't often walk around a city and see streets with no people. I mean, you get away with doing that in lockdown. But not now. I'm just sitting here thinking, what next? Excuse me. Shouldn't be drinking Pepsi while I'm on camera. I'm just adding some red lines in here to get a sort of sense of there being something there. Oh, I just realised that this here actually says Oka, which is the same as on that sign. That makes sense that they have the shop name there. I'm waiting for that man to dry now so I can fix his face. I need a... No, I said I need a, not a need him. Yeah. I'll actually just leave that there and come back and fix him. Because I think the more I mess around with him now, the more I'm going to mess it up. I need the paint to be 100% dry. Wow, when you zoom in, you can see all these details that you missed in the picture originally. Oh, someone sort of thought it. I might finish up here. I've been going for a long time, and the battery's nearly flat on my iPad. I think anything else I need to do is this. I'm going to have to wait for the paint to dry 100%. I've got that man looking like a ghost. I'll put some long hair on him and you can be like, what's her name from The Ring? Yeah, or like, you know, some kind of yokai. But yeah. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends about my channel. I've got lots of other really good videos if you want to catch those. And again, thanks for joining me. I think that's all. Hashtag WonderCat livestream, but I'll put it in the recording description. And I kind of feel like I should say something else before I go. My favourite bit of my drawing, right, is these milk crates here. They look really cool. But yeah, okay. Bye. Work out how to turn the camera off. Good one, Catherine. Acting. I'm live. But I don't want to be. If I go there, cross. Oh, that's good.